I just wanted to show our viewers what comes into our shop every day. This is a common day at work here at Nick's Garage. We get all kinds. Try to keep up with me, you guys. Good luck.
Welcome back to Nick's Garage. The place is as busy as ever today, but Nick is back from vacation and he's ready to get down to business on the many projects in his shop.
This is a typical day at Nick's Garage. I've got one job after another. I've got a client just closed the door to me with a Chevelle with the flashers not working. And what was the other thing? Sway bar bushings. We did that. So it's a little bit crazy today. I've been missing for practically 3 weeks for vacation. I'm back in town. I've got a lot of cars inside out. I've got a 440 I just installed on the Dyno to break in the cab for Eugene for the 69 Charger 500. I've just worked on the Chevelle, got that done. I'm checking out the pan gasket we're doing with Mark on his 440 6-pack Challenger. I got a 70 Mustang Mach 1 that just came in. I'll show you later with a big list. We're also working on a Dukes of Hazzard, the original black car. That's how they first made the film. I'm also working at the same time on the GTX, and I'm also waiting for a carburetor coming in for the Jensen outside. So this is just a typical day at work at the shop here, so it's going to go a little bit crazy. But you guys, stay tuned, watch as we go along today, all right? Try to keep up with me, you guys. Good luck. This is the one we just did the flashers and of course the front sway bar bushings. So now he's on his way to go. It's a 72 Chevelle. There we go. We also tightened his power steering belt because it was squeaking. So that's going to be ready to go in any minute. So let's get this out. Let's see what else is going on in the shop. So give me a few seconds so I can take it outside for the client. You know, there's so many things to do. Here's another thing to do. Install the original steering wheel. But you know, we'll eventually get to it. He's gonna come back in the future when I've got the original sockets for the flashers. So I got the flashers working temporarily right now. So when he comes back, when I get the flasher sockets next week, I'll also install him the original steering wheel. But today it's been a hectic day, so I gotta catch up on other jobs. Okay, so we got that car done. He came early in the morning because he had no flashes working and park lights. We got that fixed. Here's another new customer, also first time here today, which he just bought it. He told me to check into it. But anyways, we're gonna look at this later on. He's got a big list. He came in with a dead battery. We have to charge the battery. So I haven't met the client yet. He's got a big list on this one. I don't know what to do with it yet, but you know what? We'll get to it later. Automobile's been here for a while. It's got passed inspection on it. It's ready for delivery, so I'm just waiting for him to come and pick it up. What else do we got here? Come on, there's one thing after another in the shop. Let's go inside.
You're reading now, relax.
It's good. Pizza came in. Okay, it's pizza time, but doesn't matter. Let me just give you guys a little tour of what's going on. I have one job after the other, and also my accountant in my office because, you know, I'll be missing for almost 3 weeks. He's in town, so he's making paperwork also. Accounting, I should say. And let's take a look what's going on with the Challenger here. I've got Mark here. They've taken out the oil pan because he's got a leak all of a sudden. So Leo and Mark are on it together, trying to take out the pan. So I've got 2 new gaskets to get put on. So anyways, now they're taking a lunch break. So we're working on this at the same time. Then I got another one here, General Lee with a 3D3 fuel injection. Come and take a look at this. Look at that. You know, when the Dukes of Hazzard first came out, the car was not orange, it was black. Apparently when the movie started, they took it out of a junkyard or something. And this is how the movie started, Dukes of Hazzard, in black, the way you see it here. Yes, this is a custom car. It's got a fuel injection. It's here because it's got a very rough idle. So I don't know if I'm going to tune it or not. I'll work on it later on. I had Manny look at it yesterday. So he told me charge the battery. We're going to check it again. So far, it looks pretty good. But let me charge the battery. We found a bad connection of the battery with the computer that runs the EFI. But in the meantime, I'm going to look into it later. I got the pictures. I sat out the whole short block assembly to get balance on the Camaro, which I left yesterday because I needed the bearings for it. So now I finally got that. That's gone. I finally got the engine inside the GTX, which I'm ready to start later on. I need to do some carburetor adjustments. I've got it in here. I've got to call John on this right now, which I didn't have a chance. I'll get to it. Another thing that came in, I'm ready to go, is look at this. The cylinder heads for the 289 Mustang, 66 Mustang that belongs to Brian. So here I am missing for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden everything came in all at the same time. Anyways, you know what? It's going to be a challenge today. It's a lot of challenge. Look, I finally got no car on the lift here. Look at that, no car. I finally got some space. And let's take a look what's in the dyno room. Come and take a look. Yes, this is Eugene's 440 from the 69 Charger 500. We are going to paint it completely orange when it's done after the dyno testing. We're going to play with different headers. We're going to play with different intake manifolds. We're going to play with different carburetors. You know, we're going to play around with this one. So this is going to stay on the dyno for a few days. So I'm not in a rush to take it out. I got it running right now to break in the cam with single springs. But later on this afternoon, when I get a chance with all the traffic going on in the garage, I'm going to install the inner double springs because I had it running with a set of used springs, and these are the double springs I got installed, which belong to this trick flow heads. So I'm going to put them on later on. Now I'm letting it cool down, but I ran it for 20 minutes with the single springs. But I'm the type of guy, when I put it back in together with the double springs, again, I will break it in for another 20 minutes with the double springs. It is a flat tappet cam, hydraulic, flat tappet, and that's it. It's very simple. And then again, I've got his own headers I want to install because I like to try the headers on the engine before we install on the car because these spark plugs are angled. If you take a good look, the spark plugs do not come straight out, they're angled. This is the way they are on these trick flow heads. So in the meantime, I need to talk to Eugene because I need to put an O2 sensor because his headers are not designed with a 3-bolt flange, which I'm going to get to it later on, you're going to see. So I'm going to get started on that just to make a few tests. I'm running a 750 carburetor. I've got his own AVS. I've got his own 3310 780 Holley carburetor. I've got a thumper I'm going to try. I've got a 750. I got 950. Well, I got all kinds of stuff. So I'm not going to be rushing this motor whatsoever, and I'm going to do the best I can. So you guys stay tuned and you'll see what we do this afternoon. You know, I don't usually take half an hour for lunch. I only got a few minutes. So I'm gonna have a fast slice and join the guys here and enjoy lunch for a few minutes. Who bought the pizza today? You did. Mark, thank you, man. Thank you.
Gotta sit down though.
Okay, let me get a plate. Let's have a slice of pizza and get back to work because I've got one car after another. And you know what? Pepperoni's for me. Oh, that phone don't stop, eh?
The phone doesn't stop, and Nick doesn't stop. And even when he does take 5 minutes for a slice of pizza, he keeps telling stories.
They dug up my street, my sidewalk, only in front of my house. And then 2 weeks before I left for Europe, they marked everything. So they told my father-in-law, we're gonna start any day, right? I leave for Greece, I told my father-in-law, they're gonna dig when I get back. He goes, nah, they told me they're gonna start any day. Yeah, I landed here on Thursday. They start digging on Tuesday, 2 days before I landed. And guess what? They're still there. It's not done yet. All right, let's clean up some of the mess I've done today. Gotta put my electricals away. The light bulb is finished. Relay is garbage. These are terminals. This one's used. All right, here we go. Leo, for Mark's car, you're gonna take the windows tray, clean it good. I'm gonna give you 2 pine gaskets, lightly stick with a few tabs of glue, so when you put the tray up, that windows tray, the gasket stays in place, you line it up, and you're only gonna put silicone in the retainer, in the front temperature cover, and bolt it on, okay? So let's go find 2 gaskets right away.
No problem.
This one is garbage, and here we go. Let me go put these things away. We finished doing the flashes on the Chevelle. Poor guy came in for the first time, and he asked me if I could do it today, so I said, you know what? I'll take a few minutes, I'll do it. I've done it. So he's on his way home now. So now, what's the next thing? We got Mark here working on his car with Leo. I'll show you where the gaskets are. Let's go get them. Let's go get some gaskets for the 440. Leo, look up there. Right there. Take 2 of those. I believe they're right there. Yeah, check it out. Get 2 of them. 1 upper, 1 lower, same number.
That's it.
That's it? Okay, so keep the part number after.
Yep, part number.
Now you need some glue, light glue, right? Don't forget, don't do like everybody else.
No. Not all the way around. That's a no-no.
Okay, there you go. If you want to take some clothespins, you want to glue it here, clean it. Tell you what. Get the window tray washed, bring it here.
Yep.
Not too much glue, just a few tabs. The reason why we do that is when you put up the window tray in place, you're not putting glue to seal the oil leaks. We're putting a few tabs.
It doesn't move.
Exactly.
That's it.
So bring the window tray, get it clean, bring it here, show the viewers how we do it, okay?
No problem.
One of the many, many things that Leo is learning from Nick is not to go crazy with the sealant when you're dealing with gaskets.
People glue down the gaskets. That's what happens. You see here how it's very hard and hard to remove. That means they glued it down. So that's a no-no. We gotta clean the window tray here, and that prevents a vortex of oil being created in the crankcase and then if you do that, you lose horsepower, right? So this is what this is for.
You just want to make sure that's super clean.
It's super clean.
Yeah, just make sure you take all these glue marks off.
That's it.
And then I'm going to show you what to do with the oil pan. Remember what I said about the flange? Get this clean, and we're going to show the viewers how we put a pan straight.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get that clean, we're going to get going.
All right, let's clean this up. See, this is what you want. It's a nice. You see here how it's all, there's glue here. This could prevent the gasket from sealing.
An air tool with a wire wheel would make this job easier. But today's the day that the one at the shop decided to give up the ghost.
Okay. Leo, don't forget, get a clean rag with a thinner.
Yep.
And clean out all the area where you, go ahead. You're doing good, good. Let's see how Mark is doing on the pan. Mark, how you doing? What a mess. What? You see, this is a big no-no. You see, this is a typical, let me explain to you. This I find very often. I don't know who did the job, but I want to make a point that the gasket makes the seal. not the glue. So for what reason, why they put a gasket on and they put glue or silicone, they do this, I do not know. Every engine that I've built, you know, you put the gasket and the bolts, make sure the pan is flat, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute what I'm talking about. That the gasket makes the seal, not the glue. The only reason I put a glue sometimes is you put a tab of glue in a few spots to keep the gasket in place, so when you put it up into the body and you maneuver with it, it doesn't move out of place, which I'm going to show you with the window straight, because after Leo cleans the window straight, we're going to glue the gasket on both sides. Like I said, we're not using the glue for a sealer, just to hold the gasket in place so it can line up with the bolt holes when we go into the body and install it on the engine. Now this here, it's chaos to get clean. You see all this glue? This is a big no-no. I tell this to a lot of people, or should I say a lot of engine builders do it this way. I don't know why. Put the gasket on, put it on with the bolts, done. It will not leak. I've been doing it for 55 years. I've never had any issues. So this is the way I'm going to keep the same pattern I've always been using. But I want to show you something else. When a pan is installed on and off, look what happens to the flange. You see it? It goes like this. You see because where the bolts go, when you over tighten it, it bends the oil pan. So what you do in a case of this, you do this. Come. You go on a steel table above the lathe. You see that? And this is what I do. Watch Mark. Look at this now. See this? Watch. You're gonna bring it down flat. You can see where all the bolts go. They do that. Do it again. We'll start from here. Here we go. Because you know, you want a flat pan, so when you tighten the bolts, you want that gasket to get squeezed. That is the purpose we do it. Did you see this, Leo? You know what I'm doing, eh?
Of course.
You know about this, right?
Yes.
Here he goes. There.
The trick Nick taught
If
me.
you take a good look now, it's nice and straight. Look at that. Now you know when you tighten the gasket, or should I say when you tighten the oil pan, the gasket is going to get closed up real good. And this has been a nightmare for Mark to clean it, because whoever did this,
They glued the gasket
they
down.
did. I don't know
Again.
why. The glue
know.
is not the sealer.
So like Nick says, the gasket makes the seal, not the glue.
Okay. So anyways, Mark, you're going to continue washing this? Okay, you work with that. Leo, put the gaskets on. Leo, you got it clean?
Yeah, well, now I need to thinner it.
Okay,
Make sure it's super clean.
Take a clean rag from the lower drawer there. Put some thinner on it.
Yep.
Clean it good. Then put a little tab of glue so it can dry by the time you put it into the car.
Yep.
And you know the trick, Leo.
Of course.
Show our viewers what we do.
Of course. Okay.
Let me see what you do. We put some weather stripping glue. It works all the time. We're just gonna put a few tabs. I know you cleaned it, but now you clean the surface where the
No.
gasket is going.
Because like you said, it needs to be super, super clean.
Sure. And there's also a crazy storm going on because while that crank is turning, all that oil is falling against the side of the pan on the gasket. You know, that's why they put 20 bolts to hold it together.
There's a lot of pressure. Even though the rings seal up, there's always the bypass.
Yeah, there's crank race pressure.
That's it. There's always a bit of crankage pressure.
It's gonna be kind of dirty, you know, going underneath the car with the pan out, because we just turned off the engine a few hours ago. It's gonna be dripping for a while. It's gonna get a little bit messy, but in the meantime, let's get it set up, ready for installation. You know, if you had a Magnum or Super Commando 383 440, this is standard equipment on any RBB engine, right here. It saves about what 5 to 10 gains, 5 to 10 horsepower in the high RPM area.
That's it.
Okay now. Okay, I'm just gonna put a few tabs of glue just to hold the gasket in place.
Here we go.
Just a few, just to keep all that. See it? That's it. You see? That's it. Just a few tabs. Now put your gasket on. It only goes one way because you got also the dipstick. Don't forget. Right there.
It's gonna go like this.
That's right. Put it on.
Like this, correct?
That's right. Go ahead. Put it on. And what we do, you know what? We'll give it a few minutes. Yep. Show this to our viewers what we do for a gasket to let it dry in place. We use clothespins. And you know what? They work all the time, like so. We'll give it 5 minutes. We'll let it dry, and then we'll go on the other side, do the other gasket. Then in a few minutes, we'll do the other side. Okay?
Yep.
There we go. This is very simple. And don't forget now, you wanna put the window tray inside the
crankcase
engine area with the engine in the car.
Yep.
So you gotta go around the strainer and around the steering. So once you go up there, then you gotta leave that floating there.
Yeah.
Then you gotta put the oil pan. So that is the reason why we stick
glue
both. That's why we glue both gaskets on this thing. Yeah. So it'll be a much easier installation.
So it doesn't float around in case rip it or.
That's right. And also, by the way, when you want to remove an oil pan from a big block or small block on an E-body, it's very simple. All you did was disconnect the nut from the idler arm and the nut from the pitman arm. Drop the drag link with the outer tie rods. It was a simple installation, which we're going to show again on camera when it comes to installation. There it is. And also, if you ever have to remove it again, there's not like a bunch of glue or silicone. It's gonna come off easy once you pass it on a steel brush on your grinder.
Yeah,
and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna go see how Mark is doing because I think Mark's gonna need help.
Okay.
That oil pan is a mess. He's got to take off all that heavy glue. Yeah, and I want you, and at the same time, we'll take a look at the block, see if there's any glue on the block.
I cleaned it up.
You cleaned it up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after that, we're putting a new filter, new oil.
Filter oil.
Get it going.
Get it. Yeah.
Don't forget the wire on the spark plug on the header. Did you fix that?
Not yet.
Let's do it now.
Okay, you want to do it now? Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
You know, there's always one job after another. Matter of fact, look, we've got one Hemi ready for delivery, and look what came in this morning. Another Hemi for assembly. It's our same client of ours. He's built a few projects on his own, but we do all the engine work for him. So we have this one ready for delivery. And today, he's brought us another one in pieces for assembly. Anyways, that'll be later on. My goal is right now is to get the cars going out of here. For example, I got to get that carburetor if it comes in this afternoon for the Jensen. I want to get that going because I gave up on that carburetor. There's so many bent linkages in it. I've been on and off playing with the carburetor. I never got it perfect. So you know what? It's such a good looking car. I want to make it run perfect. I had the kick down repaired and they were telling me, Nick, they had issues with the carburetor. Got it back yesterday. I got fed up with it. So my brother ordered a new carburetor, which I should be having it this afternoon. And maybe tonight I'll put it on and see how it goes so we can deliver the car finally next week. Since I had Dan in the shop today, came by for a coffee, I asked him if he could do me a little favor. He did the sway bar brackets on the Chevelle, which just left. And I also had him repair the original dipstick tube on the 440 that belongs to Eugene's Charger 500. It's in the back. Let me show you what he's done. You know, there's always one thing after the other. Anybody that can help me comes here. I always got something for them. Right over here. This is another 440 I bought as a spare parts. This is the original dipstick tube that belongs to Eugene. So we had to get this welded. The tube is perfectly in good shape. There was a pinhole over here. So what we did is we lined it up to go with the motor mount. So we had it welded, tacked, and it's ready for installation for Eugene's Charger. There you go. Dan, gotta thank Dan. He came by and saved the day. Why not? I'll just use the same one that came with the car. Genuine piece. There you go, Eugene. Put it back on your car. So now this motor mount belongs to Eugene, right here. I'm gonna remove it now because he has a polyurethane mount on it. Because you know, I've used it for many years. I never had any issues. So let me remove it, put it on the side, because the two motor mounts are sitting on his engine on the dyno that belong to the dyno room. They're gonna be coming off after, because after that we're gonna paint the engine completely orange, like as Eugene suggested. He wanted it completely painted orange, but we want to do a few tests on it before we do anything like that. You know, sometimes when you spill fuel, you move around things, you crack the paint when you remove the bolts, but it doesn't matter. So after, when everything goes well in the dyno, after everything's tuned, then we're gonna put on an engine stand over here and paint it completely orange from A to Z, and then we put the accessories on, and then hopefully the car is here then, so we can have it installed. All right, I'm back in the engine room here, so I'm just gonna remove the clothespins. We got one side of the gasket stuck on, like so. I'm just gonna stick now the other side. See? Now this stays in place. You know, that's all I needed to do. Now we'll put a little tabs of glue on here and there, right here, like so. So now I can stick this gasket, so make an easier installation. That's all there is, okay? That's it. Now, let's put the gasket. If you guys want to know what the gasket I use for the oil pan, this is the common gasket. They also make a one-piece rubber gasket, but this one works for me. I've used it so many times, it's also cheaper, and it does the job. See? Very simple. No big tons of silicone, nothing. Been doing this for ages. Never had any issues. Just like if you guys take a look on the engine on the dyno for Eugene's 440, if you take a good look, when you look at the side of the pan or any engine job I do, you will never see silicone squeezed out of the pan. Reason why? It's because the gasket makes the seal. I've said it many times before. I know it sounds like I keep repeating it, but I like to say it because a lot of people ask me the same question over and over. Maybe because they didn't hear me once say it, so I keep repeating. Okay, keep it simple. There we go. We'll let it dry for a few minutes. Then when you get the pan cleaned, we're gonna put it onto the car. We'll get to that into a few minutes. Here, let it dry. Okay, John, what do we have here? Tell me.
Big list.
He's got a big list?
Big list, yes.
Okay, this is a new customer and he just bought the car eventually?
He just bought the car and he's not happy with a few things. So he just wants you to take a look and do a few adjustments so the car could be more drivable, more enjoyable. And that's it. So he gave us a big list. He called me back and he added a few other things. But I think there's a little bit of stuff that could be as a winter project. He wants to replace the heads, and I said it's not something that could be done now, but we could look at it.
Yeah.
And he has a little adjustments there and there, speedo cable, a few things. He's got some headers he wants you to look at, see if you could change them, and a few little items, you know. So
Maybe he wants ceramic coated headers. Maybe
we'll have to open the trunk.
Okay.
He says he's got them in the trunk.
Let's see what he's got.
So he's got new headers. He has a set of Boss heads.
Oh,
At home.
I see what you mean. I see what
So
you mean.
the motor is a 351 Cleveland.
Okay.
He wants to know what the cost would be to install the heads on this motor.
Okay.
And that's what he was asking about.
Okay.
So I asked him for some information about the motor,
Yeah.
and he called me back and he has information.
Okay.
You know, it's 40 oversized. He gave me the cam specs
Okay.
just in case we need.
And these are the headers he wants on?
Yeah, well these are chrome, I just noticed.
Okay.
And the ones he has are white.
Okay, so he wants these on. Well, it's the first time I see gauges like that. Wow, this is all custom work. Okay, custom striping, Canadian Tire hood pins. Check out the horns. Cool, eh? Never seen those before.
He's got a blower belt.
It's as if
Oh,
you had a
wow.
Yeah, it's for a blower.
Oh, wow. Check this out. I like the way they chain down the motor. Look,
Old school,
this
old school.
this is old school. Check out the chain on the block. That is something. Today we put solid motor mounts, or we put polyurethane motor supports, or the Schumacher mounts, polyurethane. And he said this is a Cleveland?
It's a 351 Cleveland,
Okay.
and at home he has Boss heads.
Okay.
So, and he also says that the car has no pull, no torque. That's what he meant. Remember on his list he has torque?
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing's wrong with the torque converter.
I thought he when he spoke to me last week, he said he wanted to bring it in for headers only. Now that you brought up a list, my goal is to finish the projects we have here for the past few months. That's my goal. And this right now is not a rush for me. He just bought the car. He just came in. But you know what? My setup right now is to get the other cars out. Anyways, let us think about it. I just want to show our viewers what comes into our shop every day. This is a common day at work here at Nick's Garage. We get all kinds. Like I said earlier, people tell you want to bring it in for one item. And like John said, he came in with a big list. And then when you call the customer, he adds another part of the list on. Right, John?
Yeah.
So it never ends. I don't want to jump on it because I'm a type of guy, when I start touching these, I go on non-stop. So I'm not going to touch it yet. I just want to get further onto the projects I got already.
Now let's go get the windage tray and send it on to the car. Come. All right. As you guys saw, Nick showed you how to glue down the gaskets onto the windage tray. This is one of those things, I guess Nick learned through experience and trial and error. And now I'm fortunate enough to learn this, how to do it right the first time. Now I know it's gonna work. So to that, I gotta thank Nick. Nick, I'm ready to put it into the car.
Yeah. Now don't forget, make sure
I need the
the
silicone
block,
too.
make sure there's no oil stains. Don't forget a tap of silicone on the four edges I told you earlier.
Put this here.
That's it. Put it on that. Right, you got the silicone?
I need to get the silicone. That's what
Now we're going to show you where we usually put the silicone. Very simple. Listen, on the E body or even the B bodies, all you have to do is remove the nut from the idler arm and remove the nut from the pitman arm. Take out the two nuts, drop the drag link without removing the outer tie rods or inner tie rods, and now you have enough room to remove the pan without even raising it whatsoever. So it's a very simple job to remove the pan on an E body and a B body.
This is a good design from Chrysler.
It is. Big block, small block, no matter what, it's very simple.
This ain't no Ford, you know?
No, well, some cars are difficult, but this one here, on these cars, is very simple.
Here.
So, wipe the oil, and where we're gonna put silicone is right here.
Yeah.
Right on the edge of the retainer, and on the edge, and also on the edge of the timing chain cover.
Yeah.
Where the two joints meet.
Yeah.
For example, like so. Right here. See where that joint is? Right there? There, one joint, one joint. There's two joints there, and two joints where the retainer is in the back for the rear seal. And that's it. And after that, let the gasket do the rest. Okay, put the tap of silicone where we said that earlier, Leo. Like so. Okay, just a bit. There you go. And then do on the timing chain cover. Okay. Now go over here in the front. Right here on the edge. You see it right there? Yeah. Just put it with your finger if you can. Don't worry about it. That's it. Put it with your finger. Put the tab on your finger and you go right up. You can even reach it from the front, Leo. That's it. Okay. Perfect. Now do the other side. And now we're ready for installation. I'm going to help you. All you need is 2 oil pan screws. Like so. There you have
I
it.
didn't put too much, eh?
No, that's all you need. Perfect. Now, pick up the window tray, Leo. Now you're gonna maneuver. This is the reason why we stick the gasket on the window tray. Take a close look. You gotta maneuver it in place. I'll put the pan, get 2 oil pan screws, and there is the reason why we stick the gasket on the window tray. Take a look.
Like that. Now
Okay.
just let it hang, Nick.
Now, where's the oil pan screw? Let it hang. There you go. You see this? Look at this. You don't have to worry about the gasket. It stays in place. Here, hold this. I'll be right back. Hold this up. I also have another thing I want to show you guys.
Yeah, he's always running, that's for sure.
Take 4 of these tabs,
Oh, yeah,
and then you
that.
put 1 on each side. There you go. Put 2 per side, and watch this. Here, take it down. Take it down. I forgot to tell you this much earlier. Put one over here. Okay.
It's gonna hold.
There you go. Put one on the other side. Here we go. I want to show our viewers what I'm talking about in a second. This is something that when you put the gasket in place or the oil dish tray, you let it hang and then it sits there until you put all your bolts around the pan. Look at this. It's a very unique design. I keep it as a tool. It's also a guide. It also keeps the gasket in place. Whoever designed this was a very, very talented person. There you go. Put one in the front and watch what do we do.
Right here.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Facing it off.
That's right. Now,
Four corners.
it's going to hold the gasket and the window straight in place.
That's it. So one less problem.
That's right. You're going to see how this goes. It's so simple. And the same goes for the pan. Okay, bring it up. Okay, push it up.
Okay.
There now. We let it go. And there you have it. Take a look. Now,
That's-
the same goes for the pan. Put it in the pan. Take a look at this. Everything stays in place, you guys. Look at this.
This is the smart way to work.
That's right.
All right.
Look at it.
This is one of those things they don't teach you in school. I'll
All
tell you
right.
that.
So now you can put the pan, put it in, and put on your own pan bolts, and there you have it. After that, let's tighten it up in place. Put the drag link back, bring the car down, fill it up with oil, and let's get it started. You know, it's a typical day here in my shop, you know, where you got one job after the other. But one thing I'm looking forward to today or tonight is I'm working on Eugene's 440 from the 69 Dodge Charger that came in from California, but honestly, it's from Texas. That's where it's gonna end up at the end after. So I've got Eugene's 440 here. It is a matching motor to this Charger. It is a 440. We put on a set of aluminum cylinders because we're looking for over 500 horsepower. You know, Eugene's got me a dual plane intake that he got me, but he's asked me to also try it with a single plane. And I've also got a few carburetors I want to try. For example, he wanted a single plane intake. I got one here from Mopar Performance. I want to try it with the Thumper carburetor. Also, when the carburetor came in, Eugene also had the carburetor replaced back in '69, which he bought a Holley 780, which is a 3310. Which is right here. So I had it rebuilt by Don Oki, and you know, this was the piece that was on the car when the car first came here. It was all kind of dried up, corrosive, but you know what? We cleaned it out, and I'm ready to go for testing on this also. And at the same time, we've located him an AVS 440 automatic carburetor that belongs to a 69 440. I also had a tag made for him, which is right here, which I'm going to put on very soon later on. So right now, the other job I gotta do is I gotta remove the valve covers, remove the spark plugs, and now I had the engine broken in for 20 minutes at 2200 RPM with the single valve spring that I had installed on it for now. And I've gotta put back in his trick flow double springs. So this is what I gotta do tonight. So I'm gonna get started on it. So I can start, I'm gonna show you guys an example of what I have to go through to install springs on this motor. So I'm gonna start on it, just to let you know what goes through here during the week or during the day in my shop. Always on the move, always got something to do, and you know, it's a lot of things. And also, I also wanted to say the headers. These are 2-inch headers that belong to the dyno room. And also Eugene also supplied us with a brand new set of headers made out of stainless steel, which is right here, which is 1/7/8. And the only thing is, I don't have the flange for this. I don't know how I'm gonna hook it up with my dyno yet. I also need to put a bunk on it to check the air-fuel ratio, but doesn't matter. We're all gonna do all this testing on the dyno. So this engine is gonna stay on the dyno for a few days, And I've also mentioned Eugene. I'm going to go back and forth with him on the phone, testing back to back play and everything. So it's going to be a while before I finish with this engine on the Dyno. Yes, we are looking for over 500 horsepower. We want to do the best we can. And hopefully that the Charger comes in very soon, because a lot of comments I've been reading with a lot of our viewers are asking, Nick, where's that Charger 500? You know what? I don't blame you guys asking. It's been gone for a while. Yes, I know, and I'm getting to a point where I want this car right here, right now. So is Eugene. He wants it here because we want to start putting it together. There's a few guys that want to help me with it. They're all on standby. They want to help me with it. So let's get it going, because I really want to finish this car. And I also want to take it for a road test, just like I did with Tim's Roadrunner. And you know what? No matter how much testing I do on this engine, you're all going to see the final testing on video. For all our viewers here on Nick's Garage to see it. With the final touch, with a single or dual plane intake or whatever carburetor we're going to go with, we're going to leave it to the last video. But in the meantime, let me get started on it, tear it down so I can put on the valve springs and see where we get. You know, I did break in the cam earlier this morning when I had it running with the single springs. So now I had to let it cool down so I can replace the valve springs. So we had it running. I set the timing. I didn't do any testing yet. I only got a set of valve springs which are used single set, which I'm going to remove them any minute right now. Start installing his double springs so we can do some further testing. I will stay late tonight to work on this and keep it on for a few days. Go back and forth with Eugene, see how far you want to go with this engine. And then when it's all fine and dandy, you guys are going to see it all on the video on the last best test we've done with it. Right now, what I'm going to do is remove the spark plugs, remove the valve cover, pressurize the cylinder so we don't drop a valve as we remove the springs one by one. So I had a tool made for myself on a 440, which is very simple, which I'm going to show you guys. I'll demonstrate one spring, so I'll get going on it right now and see what it takes. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. I still have a Mustang to go look out outside, but you know what, right now, I just want to replace one valve spring, show you guys how this is done. And you got to pressurize the cylinder that, because you know, once you remove the spring, once you remove the locks, you don't want to drop the valve and then it falls in the cylinder and you can't get it out. The only way you're going to do that is by removing the cylinder head. You don't want to do that. All right. Okay, here we go. There we go. I need a 12 corner for this. Okay. You know, the spring pressures with this setup is with 130 pounds with a double spring. But I really want to go over 120 pounds when I break in the cam, especially when you got brand new lifters and a brand new cam. So I've also read up on a lot of engine building that when you do break in the cam, you don't want to go crazy on a break-in. So what you do is you put on a set of used springs that have about 100, 110 pounds, so you can break in the cam. And then eventually when you put back the new springs, they're like roughly 125, 130 pounds with the double springs. And then just to protect the cam, you don't wear it out. That is the purpose why we do it this way. We're going to start by removing the valve cover, spark plug wires, and of course the spark plugs. Now this is going to be pretty interesting. We've got a matching motor, matching engine to this car, matching transmission. So after I finish building the engine, I've got to do the automatic transmission for Eugene. But in the meantime, I want to finish off with the engine. So if everything goes well, I can park it. And then after that, I'm going to look forward to the transmission. I've got all the parts I need for it. So all I need to do is assemble it. In the meantime, let's get this 440 going. Yeah, you know, I've noticed a lot of people watch our content here on our YouTube channel here on Nick's Garage. But I wanted to tell you guys something, guys. You know, we notice that we have a lot of viewers on our videos, but the problem is nobody subscribes. Okay, a few do, but I like to have everybody subscribe to my channel. So you guys, doesn't cost anything, it's free, and get all your buddies, subscribe to my channel, and all I gotta say is a big thank you. It doesn't cost you guys anything. And then after that, I'll keep producing as many videos I can to introduce you guys and have a good time watching our videos. I gotta remove these spark plugs. We don't want no Here we go. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Don't forget, you guys, we still have to put the whole car together. Once it comes here, it's gonna be a bare shell painted. And after that, we gotta put the whole suspension, drivetrain, interior, trim, a lot of work. But you know what? It's gonna be worth it. And the last time Eugene's driven this car, I believe was 1975, was it? It was parked for a long time, but you know what? Once he gets this car in his hands, it's gonna be very, very special to Eugene. I spoke to him a few times in the past, and I did tell him, you know, it brings back a lot of history. Imagine you bought a car brand new in late 68 or early 69 in New Jersey. Then he got drafted out to Vietnam. Then he's parked the car, then he got stationed here, then he got stationed there, and he kept parking the car here, kept parking the car there. Never got to enjoy the car. Yes, he maybe raced it a few times here and there. He put headers on it, he put a 3310 780 Holley carburetor. But you know what? After so many years having it parked, and now he's growing up, he's older, and now he's just waiting for me to finish his dream car, which is his car, which he bought brand new, all matching number. And you know what? I would love to see Eugene in person when he first sees this car, when it's all done up, and I hand him the keys. And I'd love to see this expression on his face. You know, it is a special car. It is a special job. It is a special project for me. And I know Eugene's looking forward to it, but let me tell you, I'm looking forward to this also. So Eugene, I know it's something special for you, but it's also special for me and my team here. So you know what? Let's get it together, you guys, and let's get going and let's get this car running, right? Let's go for it. Here we go. Now we're gonna crack the rocker shaft loose. We've got the spark plugs out. The rockers are already adjusted, so I'm gonna put them back in the same way. Push rods also, like so. And these are the rockers supplied by Eugene, which he bought from Hughes. So we got them on. We got them adjusted. I got them some mountain push rods. And right now, I'm just gonna have a couple springs replaced so I can show you guys what I go through sometimes. And right now, at the same time while I'm doing this, I got a customer waiting outside for me. So you know what? Just to show you guys what I go through, I'm always under pressure. And I never stop. And another thing I want to tell you guys, even though it's closing hours, I still stay here. So, my goal is get these things going. Yeah, this is what I like doing, you know, and I love it. So I got no complaints. Ooh, I gotta be very careful with this now. These are shimmed. I cannot make this mistake. Okay, this is something I cannot make a mistake with. Oh boy. Because you know, I shimmed them. So I cannot make a mistake with this. Okay, how do I do this now? I gotta fix it in a way so nothing gets mixed up. So I'll put this like this. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. I'm sure they're all the same, but you never know. Let me put it my way. Okay. And this goes over here. Okay, now. This cannot move. Maybe I should put some tie wraps to be sure. Because you know, these adjustable rockers have shims, so I had them all adjusted to be perfect. So I want to make sure nothing gets lost. So I'm just going to put a couple of tie wraps, so I don't have to start wasting time making measurements again. So just to be on the safe side, I'll do this, like so. This is like that. This should be okay. This should be okay. I think I've got it. And here we go. Stay there. Next. Now. Okay. Is this gonna work? Yes, this is the tool I did on my own. Okay. It's It's gonna be kind of tricky with the aluminum heads. It doesn't matter. I'll do something with it. I'm just gonna put a stud right here, like so. I'm just gonna, guys, make a demonstration. What does it take to remove a valve spring on a dyno? Much easier than having it in the car, of course. Okay, so now I'm gonna pressurize the cylinder by putting a hose from a compression gauge. You remove the pin, put in the cylinder hole, where the spark plug goes, like so. Connect your air line from your shop, like so. Then you connect your air line hose. It's about 110 PSI. And you slowly insert air in the cylinder, like so. Like that. Now, just to show you guys what I'm trying to say, is that you want to remove the locks and you want to make sure the valve doesn't fall down. But you know very well, with the cylinder compressed, with the air compressed in the cylinder, you cannot drop the valve because it's pushing the valve closed. So for this reason, this is what you do now. You push the spring down, remove the locks, like so. Put them over here, like so. Move this to the side. Take out the single valve spring, like so. Take the double spring, see? This is a single spring with a damper. This is a double spring with a damper. There you have it. So this is about 125, 128 foot-pounds at seat pressure. So then you put this here like so, like that. Then you get your locks ready, get my tool, press it back down. Just to show you guys before I put the spring in, look at this now. As you can see, the valve cannot be dropped because it's the air compressing cylinder is pushing the valve closed. So this way, look, even though you put a little force on it, the valve will not drop on you. You don't want it to drop because then you got to remove the cylinder head to get it out. In some cases, the seal might stop the valve from going down, but you don't want to take any chances. Then we do this. Okay. Then I put the other lock on the other side. I started on this side, just wanted to show you guys. And there you have it. Voila. Then I'm going to jump onto the next one. And there it is. So this spring is installed. So I got to do all 16 of them. So I just wanted to show you guys what it takes. And then when I'm done with this tonight, I'll do some further testing. And of course, you guys are going to see this all on YouTube. And you guys, thanks for spending the day here with me in the shop. Thank you. If you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.